Hello and welcome to Technology Simplicity Live Series Episode 2. Today we're going to talk about what's the best alternate of Google Chrome. Google Form. I'm sure a lot of you have been using Google Form as an organizer, as a company, or as an individual when you want to collect some information from people around you or even open to public. And for those who have been using it for many years, I'm sure you might stuck with some limitations and wondering whether there's another alternate solution out there which is free. Yes, I know everybody loves free to overcome the limitations. Today, I'm going to share with you one of the alternate that I personally bundle into, and once I use this solution, I have never go back to Google Form anymore. Okay, I'm saying this not because I don't like Google Form. Okay, Google Form is awesome. It's very easy to set up and use, but because of the limitations I have, if leaving me no choice but to switch to another solutions, which I found is very similar to Google Form in terms of usability and learning curve. That solution is called Forminator. And again, let me emphasize, it's 100% free. That's the best thing about when it comes to free solution, right? Everybody love free stuff. Okay, today let me share with you the best alternative of Google Form is called Forminator. So what does this Forminator do and how it goes? Let me share with you the number one factor that making me switch to Forminator comparing to Google Form is branding. I'm sure most of the time when you receive a Google Form, the URL is a random words and there's no meaning. And some more the URL is so long. So in terms of branding wise, when you want to share a link to your friends or even open the public in terms of registration and so on, the URL is the keywords because when people read the URL, click the URL, immediately they receive your branding perspective because the keyword is already there. So the number one factor that I have to switch from Google Form is branding in terms of URL. Besides that, the number two consideration is professionalism. Because everyone can create Google Form, so when you wanted to have a form that makes people feel like this is serious, this is this is created professionally, and this have been done in such a way that we call it no play play. When it comes to professionalism, besides the form itself, I would say the footer, the copyright, because the data will be controlled by yourself, especially if you submitted Google Form. I'm not sure you realize after you submitted, there's a footer which is you can't modify because that's the default by Google. So in terms of professionalism, I will urge you to switch out from Google Form. Okay, and the factor number three that makes me really frustrated is attachments. I'm not sure whether you try to request your user or recipient to upload some files. Google Form only allows you to upload 10 files per field. I'm not sure you realize or not. Okay, there's a limitations. And of course, in terms of storage, you have to rely on Google Drive. There's no other way you can store anywhere else. And Google Drive is, I'm sure everyone know, the free plan is up to 15 gig, and then you have to purchase if you want to submit a lot of attachment and so on. That is one of the limitation and restrictions that makes me switch to other solution. So besides attachment, the number four factors is, I think, is very, very important. Basically, it's about how much you can create from the form fields. Google Form have the limited form fields already set up there, and it's nothing much in terms of conditions. For example, if you want people to key in address, it doesn't split in terms of a street name, unit number, state, country, and even postcode. It doesn't split like that. So some CRM system, when you want to capture the data, it's a little bit tough for you to split again upon the submissions. And of course, if you look at this part here, payment. There's no payment gateway integrate directly in Google Form yet. Okay, I'm not sure whether in the near future Google Form might be implement it, but for now, or perhaps few years back, it's never assist. So that's one of the reasons that I have to really switch to another solution. The last factor is data. Since the GDPR have been implemented worldwide, I believe data protection is one of the key concerns whenever you collect any information in the internet. And because Google Form is always stored in Google, so there is no way you can delete the data. Please remember, even though you collected the data in Google Form and it appears in Google Sheet, right? After you delete, the data actually is still there. Okay? If your recipient really concerned about whether the data have been deleted, you have to email to Google and request permanent deletion of the data. Now, this is something you might don't know. Okay. Besides that, if let's say someone wanted to go back and track back what kind of form that's submitted from you, okay, the user account is one of the things that Google Form lack of. Okay, let's say you have a website abc.com and you created more than 1,000 forms for different purposes and so on. And then one person might be participant in 10 forms. They might want to trace back what they submitted before. And perhaps you might think about cross using. Let's say I have been submitted before. I have my name, I have some basic information in the website. I can reuse the next time when I want to submit the same thing in the same website. That is something really makes me switch to the other solution. So let's talk about this solution called Forminator. Number one, the reason why I choose Forminator is 100% free. Okay, when I say 100%, trust me, there's no hidden charge. Okay, 100% is the best thing so far. Okay, then the number two is integrations. When I say integration is, imagine you capture the data when people submitted your forms. You want to connect to a CRM software, for example, like Hotspot. Okay, it's very tough for you to do it in Google Form. I'm not sure you realize in Google Form there are add-ons. Yes, it can be done by finding some maybe perhaps premium add-ons, or even you write some Google script to do some integration. But however, in Forminator is so much easier, especially by default. Forminator already have the integration in terms of Zapier. If you haven't heard about Zapier before, it's one of the best way for you to connect one services to another service. Just like that. It's very simple. Okay. So integration will be a best key point for you to choose Forminator. And number three is built-in payment system. Remember just now I mentioned one of the reasons that I have to choose to switch to another solution rather than Google Form is there's no payment collection for you. There's a built-in payment of Stripe and PayPal. These two considered one of the best payment gateways so far in the world, and that's a built-in. So you don't need to pay extra money to have add-ons. You don't need to purposely adjust any setting. It's already there. All you need to do is just log in your Stripe or PayPal account and get the API key, put inside, that's it. Then voila, your form will become a payment collection form. Okay, then the number four reason why I choose Forminator is you are not just creating a simple form, you can also create a post, a quiz, or even do a simple calculation. For example, you have a loan calculator in your website, you want people to actually key in certain quotations in terms of requirement, that they get quotation right away. Forminator can be done. I know Google Form have the calculation feature already, but if you really go and explore it, you might feel you will feel the restrictions and frustration at the same time. Okay, when it comes to Forminator, is so much manipulation you can be done, so much mutation. Okay, and number five, let me share with you is submission data handling. yes, I'm sure you know that in Google Form, after you submitted, it goes to Google Sheet, whereby you can download in an Excel, or even you can straight away share with others. Remember, I mentioned just now the data concern. That's one of the reason Google Form might be not a good idea. Imagine you submitted some information to an organizer, probably an NGO, then that person is actually sharing out the Google account to many other volunteers and committees. Indirectly, your information has been shared to others. However, in Forminator, it doesn't work that way. Okay, only the admin of the specific admin can be viewed. And not just like that. When I say data handling, we're talking about filtering, we're talking about you can even connect it back to Google Sheet or any other services because of the integration. So there's the submission data handling we're talking about. And number 6, you can do a pre-populate. In my previous video, you can find in my channel. Okay, go and search Technology Simplicity pre-populate form. You should find another video, okay, which is exactly showing you how to impress your client or anybody else by sharing a pre-populate form. What is pre-populate form means? That person, let's say you have the data on hand in terms of basic info. Right now, you want to collect other informations. You already fill up on behalf of the persons. So it's already pre-populate. So when the person click the link, right away they see, oh, first name, last name, mobile number, email is already there. People will feel so convenient, at the same time feel like, okay, this is so much time saving. And of course, they will feel impressed at the same time. So pre-populate is something I really like about Forminator, and it's so easy to create. Okay, go and search in my YouTube channel, Technology Simplicity pre-populate form. Then you can find within 5 minutes you will learn how to create a pre-populate form just like that. Okay, that's number 6. And let's go to number 7 is, I'm not sure you realize, when you submitted something in Google Form, the notification email you receive doesn't come from your company or your email. It's come from a default. Perhaps something like, blah, blah, blah at google.com, something like that. The branding is not there. And you can't set so much stuff in terms of forwarding in what condition of submission you should receive. And then let's say you have a bunch of people to handling a form. You wanted to, okay, let's say group A, when the user choose group A, they wanted to forward the email notification to person A. Then group B forward to person B. You can't do it in Google Form. However, in Forminator, that can be done using a simple email writing. Okay, it's very simple. You just click in terms of what field people choose, then what are the email you want to shoot to. That's it. Email routing is something very important, especially user notifications. After people submit what you want them to see and receive in the email, to make them realize what is going on next. Okay? And number 8, this is something I really like, is the fields conditions. Imagine you wanted people to fill out 4-star first, then only appear another form fields. For example, I click that, let's say I'm a female, I click pregnant, then only I'm being questioned in terms of, okay, when is your delivery expectation date, stuff like that. When I choose male, all these questions will be high. This is very important because you wanted to save your recipient time by not showing the question not related to them. So this is one of the example that field condition is very important for me, and it's very hard for you to set in Google Form. It's not a direct way. I understand that Google Form you can do something like, okay, once people fill up this section, you can jump to another section. I understand, but play around with that. Once after some time you feel, like I mentioned, there are a lot of restriction, and at the same time you might feel frustration. Okay. Then the number 9 that I love the most, however, allowed me to emphasize, Forminator, although is free, but they offer a pro version whereby just one simple difference between the pro and free, which is in the pro version, you can include an e-signature field. Imagine you're going to share out a quotation, okay, a quotation form to your potential client. You want them to feel the seriousness and then want them to commit to the quotation. They just fill out the basic info, they fill out their company info, and last but not least, they sign digitally. E-signature is something very powerful and something can be impress everyone, especially in today's pandemic time. Okay, but allow me to one more time emphasize e-signature is only available in pro version. Okay, that's the only difference between the free and pro. There's nothing much. Okay, so these are the 9 reasons why I choose Forminator, and allow me to share with you how it looks like and how it works in the back end in general. Okay, today is more on talking about the features and talking about the discussion. Of course, if you have any questions, feel free to drop in the chat box. Okay, drop some question and then I do my best to answer to you by the end of the session today. Okay, right now I'm going to bring you to I'm sorry, bring you here to let me share you one of the example that I assist in terms of create one of the form for the COVID-19 pandemic vaccination appointments. Okay, a very simple form can be done in a very short time. And again, when I created this form last time, I record the whole process in terms of how it can be done, and I explain in every single items in terms of the options, the condition, and so on. Okay, you can search from my YouTube channel, Technology Simplicity, COVID-19 vaccination form. Just look for this keyword and you are going to find that video. In 25 minutes, the video share with you how does this form created. Okay, I know it's just 4 fields. It sounds like how come 4 fields you take 25 minutes. It's not about that. Okay, it's about I explain in every single item. Okay, today let me share with you a simple take it a glance. Okay, why I choose Forminator. Remember I mentioned about the data, the submission data handling. Okay, look at this part. Okay, because of data protection, so I mean I don't want to show who is who. I'm just show the phone number. This is very general. Okay, from here you can choose the form and you can choose like what kind of submission you want to view, and of course you can filter out. Okay, this is within the system itself. Okay, you don't need to purposely open in a Google Sheet or Excel. Okay, in fact, you can even filter by all these very useful filter here. For example, you can sort by the date. You can choose whether you want to display what are the columns you want to show, and you even can choose a date range. Okay, what you want to view and so on. Most importantly, I want to share with you is this export button here. Okay, this guy is very useful in terms of one thing. It's not about when you click here you can export to CSV. That is for me is basic. Okay, look at this guy here called schedule exports. This is something I love the most. Okay, let's say I created a form and then I'm going to open this form for 1 month. Then I wanted to receive every day new submissions in Excel in CSV format automatically. This is how it can be done. Every day I want to receive it, let's say at 6 a.m. morning, and then I'm going to receive to myself, let's say j@imtchong.com. That's it. And this tick is super useful, which is let's say I open this form for 1 month and the first 10 days every day there's a new submission. 11 days onwards only 1 or 2, and occasionally some days not even have submission. Then there's no email received. So whenever there's an email, whenever there's a new data come in within the before 24 hours, you should receive one email with attachment, which is exactly the new data that you're going to process. Just like that, and then you save. Then every day you're going to receive it at the time as preset here. So that is one thing that Google Form don't have so far. And of course, You can download the whole CSV just like that, and then you can open in Excel. Other than this submission, one of the best thing is integration. Yeah, remember I mentioned just now. Okay, integration so far there's a default which is more on email broadcast, Mailchimp. You can even connect back to Google Sheet. You can connect to a CRM system. You can connect to a work chat called Slack. Okay, you can connect to a task management stuff and so on. However, not just limit by here. You can connect to Zapier, as I mentioned. You can connect to 1,000+ apps, just like that. Okay, a lot of things can be done here. Okay, let me share with you a little bit on the fields. If you create a new form, you shall reach this page, okay, whereby you can insert the fields. Remember I mentioned just now there are more fields comparing to Google Form. Okay, let me do you a comparison. Here you can put in name, email, phone. I think here you have basically 25, 26. There are 26 types of fields available here. However, in your Google Form, these are the types that are available. Of course, I mentioned there are insert question, there are title, image, and so on. Okay, I myself using Google Form for many years before, and then if you look at, let me just show you a glance. Okay, I use it for many years, and up until like I mentioned, I face a lot of limitation. That's why I switched to this guy called Forminator. So there are a bunch of things here, especially this guy called e-signature. This is super useful. Okay, let me share with you. Okay, let's say just signature, start like that, and then you want to set it as a require. Okay, then you want them to save in a PNG so that it's a transparent. You can even set how thick it is when they put in the signature and so on, right? Okay, apply. So you take a quick look. So when people submit their stuff, name, IC, phone number, address, for example, then this is a signature. This is something cool, right? Okay, just like that. It's very easy. And then remember just now I mentioned address, you might want to split into different slots. Here is the part. You can allocate city, state, zip code, country. Apply. Look at the preview. Right away, your address can be separated in this way. Okay? And not just like that. Remember just now I mentioned, let's say you want people to choose whether you are male or female, then you want to pop some questions. So let's say this is called gender, then the option is called male, and this is female. Okay, just for example. Okay, this one nothing much, apply. Okay, gender, then let's say if it's a gender, I want to ask a simple question. Let's say there's an input. Okay, are you pregnant? Just for example. Okay, here is the condition whereby visibility, as in if the person gender, okay, let me choose here. If you look at this guy, okay, you don't want to show this question, are you pregnant, to those who choose male. This is a very logical question, right? A male won't be pregnant, okay? In 99.99999%, I would say, okay? It might be a very small chance a male can be pregnant, but I don't want to talk about it. For me, there's no chance, okay? So I want to choose the gender. If they choose male, I would hide it. Yeah, you can choose to show when this condition is met, or you want to choose it to hide. So let's say I want to hide if you choose male. Okay, what is the difference between this show and hide is you want this question to be shown at first place or only show when the gender have been switched. Okay, for example, I want to show only when they choose female, which means initially this question, are you pregnant, will be hidden. Okay, let's take a quick look. Apply. Okay. This is how it goes. Okay, the male is like this. Let's say you choose female, then only you have this question. Easy, right? Amazing, right? Yeah, I know. Okay. This is something I really love about Forminator. All the fields can set the conditions. Okay, remember just now I mentioned the pre-populate. Okay, how to done it is very simple. Let's say I want to pre-populate the form that I send through email to all the potential clients or anyone. Okay, you click this guy. Okay, you click this setting. Did you see this? Pre-populate. Okay. Let's say I put a key. This is called name, or I just call it full name. Okay. So when you want to send a pre-populate form to other people, so what you need to do is you just need to key in this full name equal to what? Okay. For example, let's say I apply, there's a pre-populate called full name here. So when I embed this form into the page, let's say call covid19.jagrade.com, okay, the form appear here. Okay, it's not appear yet because it's not published. Let me try to publish, okay, just for a temporary and for demo purpose. Okay, so this form, when I refresh the page, it will appear here. Yeah, because it's already over. Okay, this form, right? So let's say I want to have pre-populate. So what I do is when I share this link, let me share with you. Okay, you just put a question mark, full name equal to, let's say, J Chong. Okay, when you share this link to anybody else, okay, let me share with you. This is a new browser. I just key in like this. You just press enter and you will be surprised that the form have been filled up with the name. Are you seeing this? Okay, I can show you one more. Okay, let me show you one more time. I know you might haven't see properly, right? Okay, let me show you one more. Phone number, I put a setting. I put pre-popular as mobile. Okay, mobile for example. Apply. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is I'm going to fill up the form by JChong, and if I'm not mistaken is n mobile equal to, let's say, 01612345678. Okay, you just copy this URL, you send to your anybody else. Okay, let me open a new Cognito window. You click the link and then you will access, you will get the form. I'm sorry, it's not. Okay, maybe it's not this. I forgot the command. I think it's like this. Let me try. Oh, is it possible I haven't saved? Yeah, I forgot to save. Sorry about that. Okay, let me try one more time. Tada! Did you see? It's already filled up here. Oops, are you looking at me? Yep. Okay, it's already filled up. This is what we call pre-populate. Okay, remember, there are many reasons I choose Forminator, including there are several scenarios that I mentioned and I shared just now. Okay, it's free. A lot of integrations. Okay, there's a built-in payment, and then you can create poll quizzes, and then the submission data handling is awesome, and you can have pre-populate. Okay, remember, if you want to know more and understand about pre-populate, please search through my YouTube channel. There's another video is showing you how exactly the pre-populate works, and you can do the email routing. There are advanced fields condition as I demo a little bit just now in terms of whether you want to show a certain field or not, the condition side. And lastly, the e-signature. Remember just now I just add a field, put in the label name, that's it. It's so simple. That's 9 reasons, and there are many more reasons I choose Forminator compared to Google Form. Okay, the only thing is Forminator is the plugin and hosted under WordPress, which means you need a WordPress website. However, don't be afraid about what is WordPress website and you cannot handle and so on. Okay, try to look for Again, look for the COVID-19 vaccination form under Technology Simplicity YouTube channel, and you should find lots more videos showing you how to do it. Okay. Lastly, that's all from today. The alternative of Google Form. So remember to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and most important is click the alarm clock so that next time whenever I have a live video or whenever I produce a new tutorial, you're going to receive a notification so that you wouldn't miss something. You might find it great and enhance your daily effectively. And that's all for today. Technology Simplicity Live Series Episode 2, the best alternative of Google Form Forminator. And this is Jay Chong. I hope you like this video and sharing. And once again, thank you so much for watching. Remember to come and let's join me again on next Wednesday, which is every Wednesday, 6:15 p.m. until 6:45 p.m. 30 minutes, I'm going to share with you how you can do better in a digital space. Thank you so much and stay home, stay safe. Bye bye.